We're back, people, and today we're going to film on Isaiah Wynn, Miami Dolphins left guard. I thought in the preseason week 1 he definitely showed out. He looked very solid. Not really many negative plays to look at for him. I think he has a very good chance to fight for that left guard spot. I think he's one of the best 5 guys on the team for sure. To me, it's him or Robert Jones that should start at left guard. I mean, Eichenberg still has a chance too. But Isaiah Wynn proved to me just on his film, in the past from the Patriots, that he is a decent player, and I think he's looked pretty good in this system. And he's definitely a guy that could start, and if he doesn't start, he's definitely going to get playing time. Like, he'll be that 6th guy who can play pretty much anywhere across the line besides center, really, and be effective for this team. So it's at least nice to have some versatile depth at the worst with Wynn, but just quality technique overall. He can get to the second level. He's a good athlete. Pretty even, and as a run blocker and as a pass blocker, as you'll see in this tape, he definitely looked like a cut above the other preseason players he's going against. Obviously want to see him versus some starters, but really good job just climbing to the second level, taking a good angle to the weak side linebacker over here. Pretty tough to do, and then good base, extend with his hands, pretty good hands there as well. Everything pretty much in sync, good bend to the knees, extend those hips, and now he just drives and then cuts off, knows his positioning, how to hold this guy, very good at sustaining his block there. Pretty much won that rep, never let him go the entire play, even until after he was tackled, he was still going until the whistle was blown, so really like that from Isaiah Wynn. I do really like Isaiah Wynn's movement skills, especially on the inside, interior offensive lineman. Don't always move the best, but I just like him, how he can climb up, get to the second level. This is a very excellent play. He really helps create this gap for Gaskin. We'll go back, watch this a little more slowly. But here we got him, left guard. He helps on this combo right here. Attacks a low hip. Look how he gets really low. He pushes that hip. All he has to do is really get a hand on that, and he just completely creates that space to help the center there. And then he comes off of it and is already ready to cut back, block this off, create this lane. So if any of these players of this defensive lineman or linebacker go pretty much where they're supposed to stop this run, Wynn's there to cut it off, but both guys end up going through the same gap. That's just, poor preseason play for you. But he ends up putting himself in a great spot here, helps create that lane by pushing, and then get back over the top, ready to help for any of these 2 guys who take themselves out of the play. And then it creates a lane for Gaskin to hit the second level and really go to work. Gaskin played good in this game as well. Got to give Gaskin some credit. Obviously, don't know if he has a good shot of making the team just with the bodies they have, but glad he at least got to shot in preseason. Hopefully, if he doesn't make the Dolphins squad, which I don't think is likely, that he has a good chance to land somewhere else. So, but yeah, great block there from Wynn to help on the combo and then cut back. And I would say pass rush, when he got just true one-on-one reps, it wasn't like them sliding. He just made it look easy. It was very natural for him in this game. Going out, I love, when he's getting aggressive in his set right there. Not wasting any time, just getting out into his jump set right there and ready to attack. Boom, hands get there, good footwork as well, base, active feet, and he's in control, high hand, low hand, he's sustaining. Now he's drops the anchor right there, you can see with his hips, extend those hips up, drop the anchor, incomplete control, doesn't really get pushed back there. Just made it look easy in this game. Definitely could tell that he's step above, 2 steps above these types of players. And I think when it comes to the regular season, he will at least be an average starter, I think, at left guard. Won't be anything amazing, and he'll get beat from time to time. But I think he'll be, if he does end up starting, him or Robert Jones, it will be better than what we saw last year. Love the initial part of this rep here from Isaiah Wynn. Just fire off the ball, and he just gets into a good position right away. He ends up kind of getting taken out by his own player. That's why he ends up, losing the ball, or not losing the ball, but losing his man, because his guy runs into him and takes him away. But this is a very good rep. Love the process of this play. Get off the ball. You can see the burst, the explosiveness out of his stance, and he's already into it. He's got his high hand right there, low hand into the chest. It's all perfect. And now he's straining. He's driving his guy down the line of scrimmage. You want to displace, create the movement for these cutback lanes. And now, if the center got a good block, the kid out of San Diego State, it would have created a much bigger lane. But Wynn does his job here. You can see the lateral movement skills, the active feet, everything from a technical standpoint was very clean on that play. From the top of his body to the lower half, all looked really smooth. I really like that. I just feel like I got to give some props to the O-line coach. I know there was some worries about him, didn't come from the greatest units, but from what I've seen so far, every player in these preseason games on the O-line that I've seen play in the past all looked better technically. So even the players that were on this squad last year, Isaiah, Wynn, they all looked more comfortable. They were all patient. They were all, good bend in their knees, things like that. Hands, feet, everything just looked more smooth. They looked more natural. So props to the O-line coach, for getting these guys to, get their technical skills up, because that's where you can really see a coach have their effect on players. This is a really nice rep from Wynn, just active eyes, but he gets such control of this defender right there. He just jumps out and attacks him, and he's ready for like this linebacker who's like kind of looping back around on a delayed blitz. He's holding him, he's basically like spying on the QB, but he's ready to like get a little delayed blitz because he's getting hands on the tight end there trying to stop him. But Wynn jump sets, good hand placement, good feet, keeps a good base, active feet to get back into position. He gets him to help out to his left tackle. And then once the left tackle is in position to get control, he has eyes to see the wide edge defender trying to loop back around. And he's still got hands on this edge, the other defensive lineman, while he's getting back into position. Not great feet to get there, but he recovers and just completely takes him away without even having to touch him, just because he was processing at a pretty good level there. Love when guys can process and see people either coming in late on like those delays or just twists, stunts, things of that nature. Looked pretty good from, that standpoint mentally. And he's just a cut above these guys, on a physical level, because he just completely was shutting down these defensive linemen, moving them in the run game, passing game. It was just super easy for him and, had no issues at all. Last play that I'm going to break down for Isaiah Wynn. We get to see him, finish this block. Absolutely push this guy to the ground. Love that. I mean, there ends up being some holding calls. It wasn't on Wynn though, but we'll watch this play from the end zone view. Just impressive rep versus the 3-tech. Reaching, they're going here outside zone to the left with a lead blocker, and he just gets off the ball again. Good bend, good burst off the ball, good hand placement, and now he's just leg driving, finishing. It goes off the screen, so it's a little bit harder to see him finish. We'll go back from the wide view to see the finish, but from the back view, you can see just everything technical-wise. Gets hands in good placement, his feet, good base, and now he's just driving, and he does a great job with his hands just sustaining those blocks, not giving it up. He strains. You can see him just create movement, and you can tell he understands position, because with offensive linemen, you're like, okay, if they can displace, move these defenders off their spots, then yeah, you can create run lanes. But sometimes you don't even need to move these guys. Like, you just need to get yourself in a good spot, and that's all just technical ability sometimes. Sometimes when you're moving people a lot, it ends up, going into the play. Your whole offensive line's got to be in sync. But love that finish, that aggressiveness, that tenacity he was playing with in this game. I think he went out there to prove that he could be the starter. Him and Robert Jones really played well at the left guard and right guard spot. So I think, either guy can prove and to play on this offensive line, get that starting spot at left guard. And whoever doesn't start is going to play at some point. I mean, offensive line injuries happen, and they'll be like the first guys to come in. And if Wynn doesn't start, and one of the top guys get hurt at, any of the spots besides center, I think Wynn would be the first guy to come in. You could also see, if it was a right tackle spot, even Robert Hunt bump out to right tackle, and then maybe Jones or Wynn would be right guard, and the other one would be left guard. Just so many different possibilities, I think, this year at the O-line. It's the group itself is still, not super strong at the top, but I think they have a little more depth this year, a little more things they can work with. And I think if guys like Eichenberg, Austin Jackson even step up and prove up to be better players, which I think in their first preseason game, they both looked better, more comfortable than they have in the past. Still a lot of work to be done. It wasn't enough reps for me to, feel great about it, but it was at least slightly encouraging. And Isaiah Wynn and Robert Jones were really encouraging, because I thought they were just dominant in their reps. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.